Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption because this game got a recent re-release for the PS5. Now this game didn't get a remake, it didn't get some massive graphical overhaul, but because I loved this game growing up and because I saw it on sale, I decided to pick it up. John Marston was one of my favorite characters in gaming, and I have memories tied to this world. Late nights, riding through Mexico, riding through Armadillo, hearing the soundtrack kick in. This game was really fun for me and I really enjoyed it as a kid. But coming back to it now, after 2 console generations, after modern open world designs and games, and after other games like Red Dead Redemption 2, I gotta say something. This game really is not as great as I remembered. I had a great time playing it, but a lot of the memories I had must have been with rose-tinted glasses. This game is fun, it's different, and honestly, I really had a fun time playing it, but the cracks and imperfections in this game really started to show as I played through it again in 2026. This game is great, and I really had a fun time getting back into it, and after about 15 hours of story and more time exploring and then diving into the Undead nightmare, I think I have a real answer for whether this game is really as good as I remember, or if it's just an all-time classic, or maybe it's just something that we have nostalgia glasses for. This game's complicated, and with that being said, I'd like to talk about it. But if you do like games like this, or if you like videos like this, please make sure you hit that like button and hit the subscribe button because I have a lot to say about stuff like this. So let's get into it.
Your hide around here, friend.
I think there's some school children down the way you can go and frighten.
Oh, hardy fucking har. Dickhead.
What are you doing?
The first thing I want to talk about when it comes to Red Dead Redemption are the things that are still elite and make this game incredible. The first thing has to be John Marston. He's still one of the best protagonists that I have played as in a video game in a long time. He's not flashy, he's not trying to be cool, he's not dramatic, he's tired, he's trying to get back to his family, and he's just a good guy. I love that he treats everybody in the game with respect. Even when they lie to him, and even when they use him, and even when they gaslight him, he always comes back with modern respect, care, and kindness. Now, he's not a pushover. He does stand up for himself, and some of the things he does say throughout the game are actually pretty funny and have me laughing. His line delivery still hits, his dry humor still lands, and his sarcasm feels natural, especially in 2026, where we leave a lot of these common decencies and respect in the past. Replaying this game reminded me of why Rockstar became what it is today. This character carries the entire experience, and I really think that John Marston stands up there as one of the best protagonists that Rockstar or any other developer has really put forward. I think in addition to John just being a great character, the memory of his story was the biggest thing that made me want to get back into this game in 2026. I gotta say, as I landed myself into the story, the nostalgia started to fade a bit. The story itself is really good, but I found that the structure drags. The first half of this game is essentially, do this for me and I'll help you get Bill Williamson. And then it doesn't happen. And then someone else says it. And then someone else does it. And it takes around 10 to 15 hours, especially depending on how much time you do doing side content, before anything truly escalates. Now, I will say there are 3 distinct acts in this game. One where you're in the United States, one where you're in Mexico, and then one where you go over to Blackwater. And I do think the third one is a lot shorter than the other 2, but with the first one being your introduction to this game, it's really noticeable at how often you're just promised this big revelation or resolution, and John just doesn't get it. And then all these great characters that help him get through these acts are introduced, and then at the end of the acts, they just kind of disappear. You spend hours bonding with them, doing missions with them, and then you get great times with them, but then the game moves on and leaves them behind. That's something I didn't really notice as a kid, but in 2026, that is really noticeable. The latter half of this game is much stronger. The final act is much better than the first act, but the road there feels padded. A lot of it seemed unnecessary, and I really got frustrated with the fact that I was just doing things over and over again with an intent to get Bill Williamson or get Javier Escuela, and every time I felt like I was going to get close, it really felt like some of these characters that I started to like were just using John, and he was just okay with it, moving on because he had one goal in mind, and that was pretty much his only option. I can understand how that can be a good story element, but to me, it made it feel like this game was kind of dragging on. Overall, the story is okay. I really enjoyed the end, but getting there took a lot.
It's hard for her to get up and about. So I wanna bring her a lovely bouquet for our anniversary.
I've seen quite a few flowers in my travels, if you'd like to help.
Oh, yeah. Listen, these old fingers ain't what they used to be. I'd love it. Sure, bring me any pretty ones you find, huh?
As you play through the game, you have to obviously go through the gameplay. Now, this game is still from 2010. Like I said before, this isn't a remake. It's not a remaster. This is the same game from 2 console generations ago that I played when I was a kid, and you really do feel it. Mission structure is very old school Rockstar. Ride your horse around for 5 to 10 minutes, start your mission, shoot out, ride back, and then get a new mission marker that's on the other side of the map that causes you to go all the way around the world to try to experience this immersive world that they put a lot of time and effort into. I understand why they did this, but sometimes those long horse rides are not just immersive, they become annoying. I also understand that there's a way for you to put up a campsite and fast travel to most of your locations, but that can really take you out of it. I gotta say, sometimes these horse rides really kill the momentum of the story that you were invested in because you finish a mission sometimes on the other side of the world and it can take you a long time to get back into it. Mechanically, it feels stiff compared to modern games. Animations are slower, cover can feel clunky, and gunplay is simple. But here's the thing, it still works. This is not a broken design, it's just an older design, and I can feel that because I play a lot of modern games. If you're patient and you put the time into it, you settle right back into it. It's not broken, it works, but you do notice it because it is a game from the Xbox 360, and that Xbox 360 lifestyle has not aged well. The fluidity and the great game mechanics that we experience and deal with in 2026 really put this game down, but that doesn't mean that this game doesn't work. So I'd say put your time into it, experience it. If you remember how good this game was, it still is that good. You just have to get used to it again. Another thing that really showed the age of this game has to be the bugs and the glitches. This game is very buggy. Now, don't get twisted. It's not broken, like I said before, but it is buggies. Some of the bugs I had, my horse would disappear when I whistled. It just wouldn't come to me. Cutscenes failed to trigger properly, where some of the characters in the cutscenes would just be invisible. Characters' faces would glitch out and they would make weird faces throughout the content of what they were trying to say. Cover animations would fail and get me killed pretty consistently. Enemies would just eat bullets and not die, to a point where I would unload 20 rounds into someone before they were able to get me to be killed. And then I'd have to start over. And then sometimes those respawn locations would put me in a place that's way further away from where I'm supposed to be, and it would immediately cause me to fail the mission and start over again. Characters would also be talking over each other as you're traveling from point A to point B, and it just didn't seem as smooth as it could have been, or as I remembered it in the past. It was rare for me to go more than an hour without something weird happening or experiencing some type of bug, and sometimes this was hilarious. I loved it. I mean, again, this is an old game. It's expected for bugs to be there, but sometimes it was frustrating. It caused me to lose a lot of progress, and it caused me to have to start over large sections of the game because some things you just can't skip, including long rides on your horse. In 2026, these bugs are very noticeable. Now, don't get twisted. There are some really bad games that release in 2026 that have bugs like this, but this being a game from 2010 makes me feel like they should have patched all of these, and they've had too much time to be able to make this game almost perfect. I would say, if you're charging me $50 for this game should not give me any bugs throughout my experience. I think that they're asking too much for what they're providing, especially because, again, this is just the base game. Speaking of the cost, we really have to discuss the fact that this game costs $50. That's a tough pill to swallow, especially when Red Dead Redemption 2 frequently goes on sale for just a few dollars almost every time I open up the PlayStation Store. For $20 or $30, I'd recommend this game easily. It's a classic and I had such a fun time with it. But for me to commit $50 to this game, that's where I hesitate. And I hesitated for a long time. I actually waited for this game to go on sale, and this is the first sale I saw it had, and because of that, I didn't play it for a long time. The experience is still good. It's not modernized, it's not refined, it's not rebuilt, it's nostalgic. And nostalgic shouldn't cost premium pricing. This game costs the same amount of money as Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and I think that that's criminal. They also removed all of the online gameplay for this game, which was a massive part of it when I played it on the Xbox 360 back in 2010. I think that you're not getting what you deserve when you fork over $50 for this game. And honestly, I think that's really, really important to mention. But to its credit, Red Dead Redemption does come with Undead Nightmare when you buy it for the PS5. And this must be the most interesting part of the entire package. Rockstar took a grounded Western story and added zombies, and somehow that works. It feels like a high-budget fan fiction or some type of fan-made mod, and it works really well. It's creative, bold, and it's weird in the best way. It makes me so happy to see games like this just get different ideas and become successful off of them, because so many executives and bigwigs in the modern day are just too afraid to take risks. And I'm really glad that Rockstar was able to do this and find success in it back in the day, and finding it come back today. I was really excited to go back and experience Undead Nightmare. I also really loved seeing more of the characters that kind of got threw away in the main story, like Bonnie and Seth. And I think that they were great characters, and putting them into a new scenario where they're fighting zombies or in a post-apocalyptic world was a really interesting way to see them. Now, this part of the game is not perfect. There's a lot of busy work, it's a lot of repetitive missions, and it's clearly not as polished as a game you would get in 2026, but it's something that I did replay and had a fun time playing it. It is short, it is creative, and it is included in the PS5 version, and it's worth experiencing. Even if you just throw it on to experience the story and go through it as quick as you can, I would say that you have to give it a shot. Rockstar is taking risks with it, and honestly, I am so happy when big companies take those risks. It's worth it, and I would implore you to give it a shot. One additional quick note that I have for trophy hunters to this game is that the platinum for this game is very difficult and will take a lot of time and effort if you're trying to achieve it. But I do have to say that the game is fun, but it asks a lot of you to get 100% completion. I would say if you're willing to buy this game and you're willing to put the time, go for it, because again, this game's awesome and it's really fun, but it is a lot of work and you're going to have to experience a lot of old video game in order to get that platinum that you might be looking for. Again, that doesn't take away from the game, but as a trophy hunter myself, that was something I noticed as I was scrolling through what I had to do. So ultimately, where does this land us? Red Dead Redemption in 2026 is nostalgic, buggy, slower than I remember, but still really meaningful. John Marston as a character is still phenomenal. The world is still charming, the atmosphere is still unique, but my memories were definitely helping me remember this game with rose-tinted glasses. It's not a perfect game, it's a product of its time, and I'm really glad I was able to open the chest and experience it again, because it's okay. If you can get this game on sale, I would say play it. Go back and experience this Western story one more time. I really think you should, because I think this is a big benchmark in gaming history. Go play it. If you want to experience a modern masterpiece, adjust your expectations and probably save the money in your wallet, because there are much better games that you could play in 2026 for $50. You're not getting a remake, you're getting a classic, and classics are allowed to age, and that's what this game did. But overall, that's just my opinion. That's what I thought of Red Dead in 2026. I know a lot of people are going to be upset because they love this game, and this game had a big impact on them. And I know that Red Dead 2 is an incredible experience, and a lot of people revere it as one of the greatest games of all time. So this game had to come before that one did. Let me know what you think in the comments. I make an effort to respond to every single comment. I look forward to reading what you guys have to say in the comments, and I look forward to talking to you guys in the next one.